show you.
That's the perfect ending.
There you go. So, a year later, I suffered another major concussion. They were both work-related, and I was just starting to heal, and actually I had read for the first time here last August, which was thrilling for me. So now I'm back again. That was my first time out in public. A few months later, I was hit in exactly the same spot, took me right out, lost my appetite, couldn't drive, couldn't speak without stuttering, couldn't write, couldn't read. And after a while, this is what came from that concussion. The inner workings of an injured brain trying to find the way home. But before I start, I want to make sure I do have the last page. What I write here, so muted. This impossible story I've carried for the last year, a concussed brain weary of a drum roll of irregular beats marching down a road carved out by an accident. My words become dead men, coming now, 6 in a row, walking timpanists who trip over one another when the bandmaster isn't looking, the meter just a bit imbalanced. I lie on my bed, the slightest movement causing the room to swirl around in my head. Visualize a big gray dog lying perfectly still on the front porch of a blue wood house. I can feel the porch beams wrapped tightly around him, and my narrative changes even for a moment. He watches herons rest, the white oak across the street, slightly sheltering the simple outcome of nesting that eludes his gaze. Then all at once, everything begins to run from me, into a world that has its own story to tell. The rocking chair behind him, stooped at an odd angle, stopped. Arms clung to an old man's chest, breath lost, and the sudden explosion of a heart obstructed. On the other side of the road, a baby, a mother's full breast and lullabies drapes across a chilling day. The sound of a spirit shattering, the herons disturbed search the sky for unseen predators, and I remove myself, my head spinning with possibilities of what is to come next. Out of focus, I turn to YouTube disaster videos, try to find my own hiding, my own sadness that hides behind my right lung, where a nodule lies, waiting to be torn apart by needles and probes, looking for signs of cancer. Another blow to my body I can barely speak of. Life passes as I try to connect to my own anguish. The page still a blur, bits of stories that leak from a faucet I can't turn off. The city where I met you lingers, pours onto the page in an unrecognizable shape. No blissful reminiscence, just something misplaced. Herons wait for the sun to lift them off a history woodpile, now just a tiny blur on a horizon that won't open. A low-lying bridge over an ocean threatening to collapse, and I can't cross over to glimpse a fuller picture. I turn to my memory of you for help. Realize too late, you are only a hollow man sitting on a dock fishing. You could not hold the shade of night in the sky or whisper in a dying soldier's ear that their mother was waiting on the other side. My stories slip behind a cloud of metaphor I did not mean to use, to describe how empty I am without you, without my words. Behind the keys that bring letters into alignment, engulfing fog. Distant whimpers intrude, the constant buzzing between my ears. The herons circle lower. A dog caught in despair. A new mother in just a nightshirt running across the street to find an old man dead. The moon swallows all of us. A blank book in my hands. Stories mixed together. Stunned, hopeless, defiant, to find the way home.